Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart. I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. This reading will be for Cancer and all Cancer placements found within your birth chart. Cross watchers, of course, you are welcome here. Also, wherever you have fourth house influence in your chart. If you're new to these placements and the house system in general, just know that I offer personalized one-on-one comprehensive birth chart readings and relationship chart readings. I have a special this month for eclipses, 10% off all my services, so make sure to take advantage of that, okay? If you want to go deeper into your natal chart or you just want to get a tarot reading with me, check out my website below. You can find all my other helpful links as well as the general love reading for September. And just know that these readings are timeless. So whenever they find you, just let the messages resonate or not, right? I have a North and South Node series that I'm currently working on because during eclipses, the lunar nodes within your chart and as the collective are being activated. This talks about past South Node, and the North Node is guiding us. It's our guiding system within our chart. So if you want to get familiar with those placements, again, I offer personalized readings, but check out the playlist below. Man, I cannot talk. There's massive transformation happening this month. It's a preparation month, okay? So if you need that extra support on my Patreon channel, I'm going to be doing a pick-a-pile reading here this week, actually, for this eclipse. And of course, October, we have another solar eclipse. So I'll be doing more supportive content, astro content, and all the love extendeds are also on Patreon as well. So join me there. You get 20% off all the time as a Patreon member. So that's a little extra bonus if you like my reading style. In this reading, Cancer, we're going to discuss astrology, specifically for your sun and ascendant, but say you have a stellium, that's 3 or more planets in Cancer, or again, you're cross-watching. This information is so helpful to get to know your Cancer. And again, that love reading is also linked below. We are in Virgo season. It's the time of the great harvest, where we reap the rewards of our efforts, which I perceive as our Saturn placements, especially with Saturn retrograde right now, that's being highlighted. Okay, so it really does depend on the lessons that we are learning through Saturn at this time. And I also have a 6-month transit reading where we look into your transits and kind of the energy that you're working through right now, so you can really reap the rewards of this great harvest. Virgo also represents goddess. It's the only goddess, feminine energy of the 12 signs. It reminds me of Diana, the great huntress, the protector of children. In Greek mythology, Persephone's story of the cycle of death and rebirth, much like Scorpio, but this has a very feminine undertone with Virgo. It's the Virgin. It's the house of purification. So this is a great month to purify, detox, purge, right? Especially with eclipses, we have to allow things to release and purge from our body. And this can be through any sort of ritual, routine, and of course, paying attention to the fine detail, as Virgo likes to remind us, right? The subtle cues within the body as well. And really the main focus is that inner critic, making that inner critic our inner coach. Now let's get you there, Cancer. Let's get into your reading. Why, hello there, Cancer, and welcome to this space. Thank you for trusting in me. If you're new to my channel, thank you for joining me here. Hit that like button, hit the notification bell to subscribe to my channel and to stay up to date for when I post. I'll be finishing off that North and South Node series this week and just diving deeper into these September readings as we move through the month. And again, check out my Patreon for more supportive content if you're feeling like you need it, okay? All right, let's get into your reading here. So as I meditate on your energy, which I do just for a couple minutes, I have some keywords, sometimes songs, whatever wants to come out, it's gonna come out. I just kind of let it flow, and we'll see if it makes sense with the cards, right? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it does. So the words that I got for you were subtle. That was the first thing. It was a very subtle. So it could be, if something could feel very subtle but present, or feeling subdued, maybe overwhelmed, subdued, subtle, like subtle feelings in the body or subtle reminders of something. And then I heard scream. I was like, okay. So maybe what I'm getting off of those two messages is, you know how sometimes I'm getting reminded of the Ten of Swords, and I don't know what deck it is, but the Ten of Swords is called Everything is Fine, when it's clearly not. They have 10 swords in their back. You know, everything's fine. I'm great. You know, that kind of feeling. So maybe that's coming to mind for you in some arena of your life. We'll see how it connects. Just remember, these general readings are more self-focused, but if love shows up, you intuitively know who's who, right? But I tend to gear these readings more towards self. This could be someone around you. And then there could be the guilt that's kind of felt with this. And I've been really feeling this for you over the last couple of months around emotions, especially since your season, about like just having a good cry, letting it out and releasing it. And this can be cries of happiness, tears of joy. And also on the same side, it could be tears of just having to let go and release things so that you can be happy, right? That happens sometimes when what I'm getting reminded of for you, Cancer, is like when good things do come in and we're maybe not used to that, right? We have to adjust to the fact that, wow, I deserve to be happy. And sometimes those tears have to come out for us to release and to really feel our emotions, which I know you do, but sometimes you can wear that protective crab-like exterior where, you know, you might not let people see that all the time, or when they do see it, it might come out very extreme and hostile. It's because there could be something that's repressed for quite some time with Cancer energy, and it's this flow. Subtly letting it out, subtly letting those screams out, maybe screaming in your pillow, and, you know, just allowing some of the emotions to still kind of bubble up. And then I heard common ground, commonality, rectifying something and coming to terms. So there could be something that you're coming to terms with. There could be a rectification of something, reconciliation on some idea through communication. And I say communication because we have this influence of third house for you. The sun is in Virgo and Mercury's still in Virgo until the 26th. That's your third house of communication. This is Gemini. So also where you have third house in your chart is going to be influenced, or Gemini, or again, if you're dealing with one. We had Mercury retrograde last month, so you could still be reflecting on the feelings that were coming up in August around this retrograde, the subtleties with any retrograde that we kind of have to learn how to process. And, you know, when I do these readings and I talk about these astrological events, there's always a bleed out effect, especially with eclipses. It's like casting a stone, right? And then that ripple effect occurs. It's not all going to happen on those dates at that time. That's the thing with astrology and tarot for me, is that yes, that energy is magnetized during those dates when I talk about dates here, but it doesn't mean that it's all going to be occurring or happening at once, because our brains, and I believe spirit, universe, whatever you believe in, source energy can only give you what you can handle. Right? So just take this, right, as something that doesn't have to be defined as now. It could have been months ago or coming up, right? That's the way that tarot and astrology kind of works, is it's energy. This is tools for you to utilize, but doesn't mean that it's necessarily all happening at the same time, okay? So communication, okay? Maybe you're finally coming to some common ground with this third house influence of how to process your emotions, how to speak them clearly, how to communicate what it is that you need. And also third house is also about local communities. So this is with Gemini, it's not about institutions, it's more about communities, our people, right? Finding those people, and it's more close-knit, right? Besides like Sag, the opposite, it's more long distance travel. Gemini third house is like short distance within your communities, within your local family, friends, whatever you call to, right, is your core. Okay, and then Libra and Venus till the 22nd in your fourth house. This is your house. So this is very comforting, right? This is a very comforting place for Libra to be. It's ruled and governed by Venus. So this is a very pleasant experience for all of us, especially you in your fourth house. So again, that's kind of that hidden also. The fourth house talks about what's in the home. So relations within the home, well, a family. Fourth house also talks about the first 7 years of your life. So there could be subtleties and subtle cues around like, oh, this is why the way I am, because I can see this reflected in my parenting or how I even parent if you have kids, okay? So fourth house influence for you, this Venusian quality. Lots around the home, lots around creating like a, I call it sacred spaces for Cancer, the nester, you're the great nester. And Pluto is dancing back into Capricorn just for a brief moment before it goes right back into Aquarius. It's going to stay there. And Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn, which you're probably very familiar with. Again, if you're new to astrology, Pluto is a very slow moving planet, right? It's way out there. So it takes a lot of time to travel out of a sign. So Pluto has been in Capricorn for many, many years. And so it's been in your 7th house. Pluto in the 7th house, there can be a lot of crisis around relationships. 7th house is the house of relating. And this is not just intimate. So with this brief little kind of retrograde back into Capricorn, it's just a reminder of where you've been and where you're going. And once it goes back into Aquarius in November, mid-November, it's going to go back into your 8th house and stay there. So with this reminder for you, I'm getting for September and October, with it in your 7th house, I want you to learn how to manage conflict, right? In relations, taking the knowledge that you've gained thus far and that like the subtle cues that I was getting of like maybe some grief or trying to find common ground is finding that balance and harmony in relationships where you're not overexerting yourself, and also paying attention to the subtle cues of patterns that you've maybe noticed over the last 10 to 20 years, Pluto and Capricorn, of like, oh, I've been here before. I know what to do now, or I'm being guided to do something differently, right? To come to some terms about something that happened during Pluto and Capricorn, right? And now it's going to the 8th house, and 8th house is Plutonic energy, it's Scorpio. So this is all about what's hidden. And Pluto's gonna ask for you to have it come up, right? Again, the subtle, that might be in your title, something else, subtle. Subtly, things are moving and coming up. What's been hidden is no longer being hidden, and it's coming out. It's asking you to communicate it clearly, okay? So let's get into your reading. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I don't mind you guys asking questions about some astrology stuff, or if you want to get a reading, we can really dive deeper into something if it's really striking a chord for you. My email's below, okay? And again, this month I have 10% off all my services till September, end of September. My Eclipse special for you. And on Patreon, just know, again, you get 20% off all the time. If you like my reading style, please hit that like button, drop a comment, share away with any other Cancers you know. All right, Cancer, let's feel into your energy, Cancer. Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? Here it is. So this deck is really beautiful, and I like you to take a moment and pause on this image here. What is it that you sense and feel? The first thing that comes to mind, it could be what stands out the most. What are you gathering? What's a word that comes to mind for you, right? There is a bit of knowledge here on the back of the card, but I want you to kind of feel into what you're seeing here. We see a horse, we see a star, we see mountains. It's kind of dark. So there's something about nighttime here. And this person's looking down, as you can see. So there's a level of self-doubt, but that star is reminding me of the star card, which is, the star comes after the tower, Pluto, Scorpio, like we've been talking about here. And there's a rectification. I'm almost getting like the Judgment card. So remember past accomplishments, Cancer, as a way to overcome present self-doubt. So this is reminding me of that inner critic. Virgo season's all about that. That's Virgo's main objective in life, is to kind of reframe their inner critic to their inner coach. And so this is where we're all collectively learning, is to not beat ourselves up. We all have an inner critic, but some signs it's more present than others, and I would say Cancer for you, Your inner critic is there. It's more around your emotions, I would say, for Cancer, is learning how to accept your emotions and that you are an emotional creature. And it's a beautiful gift. It's not a curse. You're not a crybaby. You're not just some wimp, you know, and for anyone to tell you that, they can F off. I'm here to say that your emotions are very pure and intentional. The only shadow side is to learn, I would say, with Cancer, is not to gaslight or project because of our own fear or lack. You know, the crab likes to hold on to things. So this is about also letting go of self-doubt. You've accomplished so much. What have you accomplished? Again, Virgo is the month of the great harvest. All these seeds that we planted back in March and April, right? The last eclipse. And again, I have an eclipse reading on Patreon from April. It's really good to look back at the eclipse readings. I have some on this channel too, but I have that one recently in April that I did. You can check back on my channel. Look back to April. What seeds were you planting then, and how far have you come? Give yourself a pat on the back. Don't doubt yourself. I know that you want to continue to move forward. And of course, we always have a sense of duty, responsibility, goals, aspirations. It's always good to keep climbing that mountain. But also it's important to stop and smell the roses and just to appreciate where you are and where you've come from, okay? Especially since April. It's a good reminder for you to check back then before we prepare for the September 17th eclipse, okay? And this eclipse, by the way, it's in Pisces. It's a partial lunar eclipse. And it's going to be in your 9th house. It's all about spirituality. This is that Sag energy. It's going to be a highly spiritual partial eclipse for you. Releasing self-doubt, it seems to be the theme for you. Let's see what else. What else is a Cancer needing to know about this eclipse, right? Something that might be coming in or exiting out, or both. Openness, pleasure, purification, yeah. So purity is the one card in reverse. And again, Virgo represents the house of purification. So there's something about detox, right? This could be drinking cleaner water. This could be eating healthier. This is getting more rest. This is attuning to the body so that therefore we can, because like I said, the inner critic usually is our ego. It's fight or flight. It's survival mode. We can't get rid of that. The ego is our willpower. It's what protects us. And people just say we have ego deaths. Yeah, it's not that the ego goes away. It's just that we learn how to understand that part of us, and we know how to like shut it down and say, you know what? Okay, I'm operating from my ego right now, and not to judge it. We don't want to judge ourselves. This is the human experience. You know, this is what we innately are born into. We can't judge ourselves for that. It's not like we chose it, right? To some extent, we maybe chose to reincarnate or come back here, but guess what? We have to face the fact that there's just emotions and these things within us. It's just more, it's befriending the ego, saying, oh, I'm operating from my ego now. Why? Why am I in survival mode? Why am I in fight or flight mode? And then that's that inner critic of judging yourself for that. Instead, say, thank you. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for protecting me. But now I want to tap more into my intuition. And the only way to get there is through flow, right? And purification, purity, detox, declutter. And also protect your energy here a little bit. Because, you know, you are the company you keep, as my dad would say to me all the time. And I hated it as an adolescent, but I've come to learn that that is the truth. Wow. At my ripe age of 37, I'm like, you know, I learned this a while back, but, you know, for many years I was like, oh, no, I'm me. I do my own thing, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, actually, your surroundings and environment play a huge role. And there is something about having to purify maybe surroundings, maybe the people you're hanging out with, you know, reading the subtle cues of like, maybe this isn't for me right now. Or, you know, being open to pleasure too. Look at that openness. That's that full moon. So I almost feel getting reminded of the full moon that's coming up here. Beautiful. That's that eclipse energy, being open to pleasure, being open to joy, that I can be happy. That's the message that I said earlier. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to kind of get out of this self-doubt and just be like, you know what? I've come really far. The things that I've wished upon a star once, you know, say years ago, let's take stock on that and be happy and enjoy this moment now. Be open to joy is what I want to hear. Be open to joy. All right, let's pull from the tarot for you, Cancer. Cancer, let's give it a good shuffle here. Cancer collective. What is it that they need to know and see for their highest and greatest good at this time, whenever you find this? Cancer. Open. Be open. Also be open to people giving you compliments on your accomplishments. The great protectors in your life. The star, look at that again. Aquarius energy, you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Something that's very healing. Look at that, you had the star twice. Because I saw that here, remember, in this creativity card? I'm getting the song, When You Wish Upon a Star, makes no difference who you are. Right? Sometimes we can beat ourselves up. So it's like, I'm not deserving of this, or I'm never going to get this. You know, that's that inner critic. Turn it to your inner coach. Say thank you, but no thank you. Not today. I've come so far, and the things that you wish for and you continue to wish for, be open to them, because there is pleasure here. There is joy. There is a gateway here. You can see here. There's light on the other side of that door. Try to keep your head up is what I'm hearing. The star is also about purification, right? The water bearer. So a lot to do with water, being near bodies of water. This could be like a bath ritual, you know, using like Epsom salt, herbs. There's herbal baths that you can do to cleanse. This month is really big on detox, fasting, all sorts of ways to detox the body. Supplements. I'm not a doctor, but, you know, I'm sure you can look into this. But this is very healing for you. Being open to your accomplishments, being open to healing. Yeah, this is that self-doubt. Aquarius again. Healing self-doubt. Again, this could be an Aquarius around you that's helping you heal, or you're healing from some sort of trickery, manipulation. Again, it could be internally or externally. When the love readings, we kind of dive into love and relations. So this is more self-focused, but again, take the messages as you see fit. This could also be you saying that I'm helping someone stay open to their accomplishments, like not allowing them to get stuck in this self-deceptive kind of energy where they beat themselves up. So if that's not your case, like we've been talking about, you could be the one that's helping someone stay open to joy, to happiness, right? To healing. What else for Cancer? What do they need to know? Cancer collective, please show me the truth for my Cancer viewers. Yeah, could be some recovery. Yeah, look at the Five of Pentacles here. This is Taurus. Six of Swords. Lots of Aquarius, Taurus, Aries. So you could have a lot on your plate for sure. Maybe there are some sort of financial constraints that you're trying to work through right now. Okay, Two of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. This is a lot on your plate. Works, duties, responsibilities. Again, Virgo season is about that. It's 6th house. This is a house of service, so being of service. But there's a fine line here with the Six of Swords and the Seven of Swords of like, you know, when I see these two cards, again, this one came first. And there's a part of you, or maybe someone around you, again, take it how it resonates, that might sneak back into this mode of Seven of Swords. You know, manipulation, coercion, and it doesn't have to be malicious. This can be so subconscious at times, as Seven of Swords. Right? Some people don't even realize that they're operating from that place, but it's due to fear. It's a lack story, a lack mentality, against survival mode. And we have to learn when we're in that mode and being like, okay, I need to pump the brakes here. I need to relax. I need to take care. I need to tend to myself. I need to move to calmer waters. I need to find more flow. I don't need to feel so burdened. I don't need to beat myself up here. I need to realize that I have come very far in my accomplishments, and I have to stay open to more pleasure and open to more prospects. You could be feeling a bit scattered here with the Three of Wands in reverse around plans, progress in general. But just know that you are progressing if you decide to. This is initiation. The one thing with the Six of Swords that I want to caution you about is, again, you see these six swords are in the boat. There's a woman and a child, and the man's leading away, okay? So this could be movement. This is transitions. Sixes are about transitions. Moving out of the cold, coming out of the cold, recovering from abandonment here, a financial loss or constraints. Again, don't beat yourself up. Do not allow your inner critic to get you stuck in this self-doubt, because there's so much here for you to stay open to if you allow it. And like I said, do be mindful of the baggage that you're bringing on this new journey that you're on. And again, it's going to come up. It's not like, oh, click it off and one day it's gone. No, that's bullshit. You know, I'm not going to feed you a bunch of woo-woo like, oh, in the month of September, everything's going to be great. No, this is just, again, an evolutionary process, and eclipses are going to have a trickle effect. So whatever happens around the 17th of September, and then in October, I feel, and again, this is why I'm doing a lot of extra supportive content on Patreon, is that a lot of this revelations around all this energy are not going to really come full circle until the first of the year, because that's also when some retrogrades are going to lighten up. So there will be a sense of understanding over time, but there will be more of a concrete kind of holistic view by like January, okay? So all this information, it might not all be happening in September, but these are just subtle cues for you to remember to stay open, be present even in self-doubt, realize what your truth is, be mindful of the people around you, right? The subtle cues and awareness that you're picking up on, learning how you communicate, when to communicate, seeing how, again, you communicate to yourself, and slowing down a bit so that you don't feel so scattered here, because this is a bit scattered. Two of Pentacles, Three of Wands in reverse. Oh, I'm not there yet. I just got to keep going and going and going. Yes, it's good to stay diligent and responsible and stay on task, but just remember your past accomplishments, Cancer. I can't say that enough. Okay? You might not be exactly where you want to be, but where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay? We're going to pull from the Astro Tarot and take this over to the love reading and see what signs you could potentially be dealing with. This could be past, present, future. You could be single. Right? This is a general reading. If you want a private reading, you know where to find me, okay? Take advantage of that 10% off this month on all my services. Cancer. What signs could Cancer be dealing with within their chart or their person's chart? And again, if you don't know their placements, that's where good natal readings, relationship chart readings come into play. You can see the aspects between both your charts and the dynamics there. Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What else for Cancer? What signs are they dealing with? What signs are they dealing with? Potentially. Pisces. That's that Pisces eclipse. Also, when I see these energies, it doesn't have to just be what's in the chart. It could talk about, again, astrological events around these signs. Again, Earth could be talking about Pluto and Capricorn. Like we said, we have to kind of retrace our steps back to what was going on during that time. And that's not going to go into Aquarius until November. So September, October, it's a time to reflect on, again, the 7th house. Capricorn's your opposite. Again, check out that North and South Node series too below. I'm diving into those North and South Node placements just so we can get really familiar with them, because the lunar nodes are activated during eclipses, okay? You could very well have a Pisces South or North Node, or they could, or an Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All those playlists are below. Love. For Cancer, what other signs for love? Venus, Taurus again, Venus and Taurus, Libra as well. They could have a Pisces Venus, or again, an Earth sign Venus, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? Capricorn strong. Yeah, so this is very much talking about Pluto and Capricorn in your 7th house. So again, we're going to talk about it in the love reading. Again, it's in Capricorn right now. It's dancing back there for a reason for you, Cancer. So let's see what this 7th house influence is bringing in your love life. I'll see you there. Links below.